Across the country, the Church of England is committed to serving every community, and that's what we do too here in the Diocese of Chichester. Our task is to reflect the joy and the hope of the Christian gospel in every community, and that can change people's lives.
I've been so encouraged by the generosity of spirit that I've found across the whole household of faith, which is the Diocese of Chichester, since I arrived. And that includes those parishes which could afford to pay a little bit more in parish ministry costs to help those parishes less fortunate than they are. There's never been a more critical time for us to ensure that we sustain ministry locally within every community.
There's a perception that Chichester is a diocese of plenty. And of course, there are many affluent areas across Sussex. But there are also parishes like my own here, where poverty is real, where many don't have jobs, where prospects for our young people are not what they might be in other communities, right alongside us.
That's one of the main reasons I feel called to be here. Not everyone in this part of the diocese finds it easy to buy food or pay the rent or look after themselves. There are many who are marginalised who need our support. Those parishes and individuals which give a little bit more over and above their share make a huge difference, often in the most understated of ways, and I hope you'll be able to help.
In the opening chapter of Luke's Gospel, Mary is at home in Nazareth when an angel revealed to her the task that God had in store. A lot has been written about how Mary responded to God's call, but it's easily summed up by the word yes. Mary says yes to God, and her yes is joyful, sacrificial, and generous. In the Magnificat, Mary praises God for his holiness and mercy through the generations, and rejoices in the radical family of God, where the humble and hungry are the receivers of his blessing.
We don't just minister where the resources are, where the money is. We're committed to being a local expression of the gospel in every community by helping each other out. I'm hoping that those who watch this video may realise just how much their giving is valued as we reach out to others. After the COVID pandemic, I'm particularly passionate about having the resources to help those that are struggling with mental health issues. And whilst they are widespread across the whole population, we need resources to help with this everywhere.
The generosity of God's love is one of the things which so often attracts us to faith in Jesus Christ. Thank you for the ways in which you have reflected that generosity in your financial support for the mission of the Church in this diocese, and never more so than during the challenges of this pandemic. May that same generosity sustain you now as we continue to know, love and follow God's Son, Jesus Christ.
Our hope is that all parishes in the diocese who are able to pay a bit more than the average costs of parish ministry will consider this prayerfully. This is to enable us to fund the mission of another part of the household of faith, facing real challenges and where financial resources are stretched. And that applies to both urban and rural parishes. We know you will help us if you can, and we thank you for considering this in the wider context of your giving. Inspired by the message of an angel, Mary proclaims that future generations will call her blessed if she performs the work of God. The challenge is the same for the household of faith today. Can you give a little bit more? Through joyful generosity, your extra help in giving can bring communities hope, foster vocations for the future, and ensure that our mission as a diocese continues to flourish in every community across Sussex. Visit our website. Here's the link to find out about offering a little bit more.